Ciao Juventini, Alberto here. I've got all this morning's news surfacing around Juventus. We're going to take a look at the big one. Obviously, Il Giornale yesterday reporting that Juventus is for sale. Exor immediately responding with a statement. We're going to take a look at all the details and the actual timeline because usually where there's smoke, there's fire. And this is not the first time this has crept up. But what does it actually mean? Is there any truth to it? We'll take a look at it. And then we've got a race for fitness and a race for returns from international break ahead of the Lazio match. But Max Allegri could be out without another key cog for that Lazio match. We're going to take a look at the details of that and then some more renewal talk and everything else. All right, so like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's rock. We're going to kick things off though. Today is the anniversary of the first match played at J Stadium, now Allianz Stadium. All right, and that was a 4-1 beatdown on Parma. And the first goal, who would have thought that the first goal was from Andrea Pirlo to Lichtsteiner? A beautiful ball in, greatly handled, and then finished by Lichtsteiner. Would have sparked, who would have thought it would have sparked a 9-year run, the most successful run in club's history. All right, hey, it makes you think that just nowadays, no matter what's going on, you just never know. All right, so let's go back to that moment, let's go back to that game and remember that, and just think about the fact that, hey, I didn't see what was to come. All right, that run, that season, everything, you just never know. All right, so let's stick to that hope going into this season and moving forward. Now we've got Rabiot's renewal. Mirko Di Natale states that the renewal was actually discussed upon his 1-year signing this season, and that the potential for it to go down is very, very high. But there are going to be negotiations that carry forth throughout this season. All right, even potentially going right down to the bitter end. But it is something that has been discussed there, and there is a good possibility that could go down, Rabiot's extension. Now we have eyes on Lazio after this international break, and the international returns are going to make things very, very challenging. Now, US denies any reports or anything in terms of the fact of sending Weah McKennie back early. Okay, they are set to play and be in action on Wednesday, returning to Continassa on Thursday, which makes it a very, very short and difficult turnaround to get into the lineup for that Lazio match. Cambiaso most likely will be playing on the right side, but now the big one is Danilo. Danilo is on the same schedule as the Americans. He is going to be in action on Wednesday. He will not be returning until Thursday. He is in jeopardy of missing the Lazio match as well. So Max Allegri is going to have to sort something out, potentially at the back as well, unless he runs the risk of playing these guys or whatnot and maybe being a little fatigued. It's going to be anybody's guess what goes down and what he does. We'll know more, obviously, as we get later on into the week, but we also have the fitness status of players to look out for, and you've got Pogba and Chiesa racing to try and get in there. As far as Pogba goes, I would expect cameos for a while, and I've felt that way for a while, and I said through the Mercado, do not bank on this guy. Let's just count him as an extra, so to speak. So we'll see what happens. Fagioli should be in the middle of the park against Lazio. For Federico Chiesa, there are going to be examinations happening today. Hopefully they all go well. But Wednesday's training session is going to be decisive for Paul Pogba and Federico Chiesa. All right. So again, we'll all have eyes on that one. As far as De Sciglio goes, we were hearing reports that his recovery wasn't going according to plan. Mirko Di Natale today records that yes, it is going according to plan. He could be available for Juventus in December. I say take your time, brother. Mattia, absolutely no rush. Okay, take your time. All right, now the big one obviously coming out yesterday. This was Il Giornale reporting, and this is probably about the third time they've reported it over a span of 3 to 4 months that Juventus is for sale. Immediately in my mind, on the 100th year anniversary of Agnelli ownership, I call bullshit, and I just don't believe it. I'd like to think that that means something and whatnot. However, do I think that there's absolutely no truth to it? No. I think they're playing with what's going on right now, but I definitely do think when there's that much smoke, there's usually fire. But they're dressing it up, making it a little more dramatic than what it seems. What I actually do think is going down is that we could find ourselves bringing in a minority shareholder in order to help. Okay, and I think that that's actually okay, and it would be something that I would be down for. If we're talking about us selling outright, that's kind of like selling our soul, so to speak, and then we just become like all these other clubs that lack substance. For me, I love our history, I love who we are, I love the fact that we have been remain and we have this unique story tied to us. It's beautiful. In order to do this, but I understand that fans think that this is the only way to compete nowadays, and you have to sell and bring in that money and let's go get all these star players and whatnot. However, I think you're still missing a key cog, and that's the fact that without the TV rights deal, without the increased revenue, you still have to deal with FFP and can't play. You can't play. You can't sit at that table yet until all that is sorted out. TV rights deal, Serie A's got to be picked up and everything. There's still some major hurdles. Getting in a new owner doesn't necessarily change any of that. So for me, if you're going to do something, bring in a minority shareholder. If Exor is unwilling out of this massive amount of money that they have, and this is the only problem I have with the reports, is that they're trying to paint this picture that Juve is in dire straits, on the brink of bankruptcy and all this and whatnot. We are a mere blip on Exor's balance sheet. All right, they're pulling in shy of 4 billion annually and whatnot. Like, it doesn't phase them. Juve's numbers don't phase them, okay? But if they're unwilling to put bonds in and help a minority shareholder, if they're willing to and whatnot, then that would be great. But again, you could still only spend as much as your revenue and whatnot. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. For me, ultimately, though, I don't want to sell outright. That's just me personally, but this discussion has been red hot since it's come up, and you guys know the drill. I want to hear from all of you. So would you not sell Juventus, or would you prefer the minority shareholder route? What are your thoughts? Drop it in the comment section, and drop what you would do for Lazio if, say, Weah, McKennie, Danilo, even Chiesa are unavailable. How would you line us up against Lazio? All right, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I can't wait to mix it up for you on this hot topic of would you or would you not sell Juventus. Let me know, and I'll be back tomorrow with another daily update video. As always, no matter what, fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti.